If the world's only gonna see a fox as shifty and untrustworthy, there's no point in trying to be anything else.
Go back to the forest, predator!
I'm from the savannah.
Takes two to tango, but a threesome to be some. A threesome to be some.
Whoops! No!
Keep it.
Keep it.
Takes a threesome to be some, but a four-way to bust your doorway. Four-way to bust your doorway.
Why that look like a boho?
That was the point.
Peep this swam, it takes a four-way to bust your doorway, but a five-some to bring y'all the wise one. Hey, can I get an Illuminati?
I like that, I like
Hey, yo.
Yo, peep this wall. Welcome to Zootopia 2 movie IRL. I'm Wise Guy. We got Micaiah. We got the Jonte.
What's up, y'all?
Illuminati, y'all. People been talking about Zootopia 2 being too woke and this and that and the third, but we gonna show them it's been like this since day
talking
one.
about it's too woke. Part 1 was too woke too. It's the same thing as Zootopia, but part 2.
Zootopia 1 was more woke than Zootopia 2.
Absolutely. But Zootopia 2 though.
No, Zootopia 2 is woke.
But
It's woke.
It is, but we gonna get to that. But
Yeah.
you seen the adult elephant in the room, if you know what I'm talking about.
Hey, yo.
Speaking of that, what would y'all
Pause.
rate Zootopia 2 out of 10?
Go ahead, bro.
Did I rate the first one? Yes, I did. I rated it
A
10.
10.
10.
I would say it was just as good.
Give
It
us
was
10
just
too?
as good. I would give it another 10 too. And usually I don't expect part two of any films to usually just be as good as the first, but part 2 was really good. I thought they did a great job of expounding even more in depth with the issues that were in part 1, which is the finding of native people's lands.
We're gonna talk about stuff that carries over from part 1. We're gonna talk about that. Good one. What about you,
I
Micaiah?
give it a solid 9.5.
9.5.
Expounded the characters a little bit more. And I feel like it was like the same kind of let's blah, 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 blah.
It's just
Go
a
ahead.
continuation.
Continuation. Let's go.
I give it a 9. Not that it was, I think I also gave Zootopia 1 a 9, you know, it's fine. I like the fact that they expanded on more serious aspects of prejudice, not just blatant, oh, you look shifty-eyed. Now we're starting to talk about covert racism.
Love it.
And that's one thing about the movie that really surprised me, because like the first one, I had no idea that this was coming out, and I had no idea what the storyline was about. I didn't mean for that to rhyme either. So, we're gonna get into our questions.
Yes.
So, like Judy Hopps, have you felt pressure to overperform and prove other people wrong? In this movie specifically, it carries over from the first movie's topic where Judy constantly feels like she needs to prove other people wrong about bunnies and disprove their prejudice. Have you guys ever felt like you had to prove other people wrong because of their prejudice?
Of course, black people. Of course, black people feel that all the time. Black people, you got to work twice, 3 times, 4 times, 6, 8, 9, 10 times as hard as your other counterpart. You have to. Because the minute you show any kind of symbolism of like I'm in pain or I'm hurt or discomfort or whatever, they just write you off. They just write you off like, oh yeah, you see, he's just kind of a guy. And they always have this preconceived notion of you. So once they place that preconceived notion of you, they pigeonhole you. So you feel like you have to do even more harder than this person when they just get an easy free breeze and they already had 10 yards into the race already, a jump start.
That sounds like Judy in the beginning of the movie where she's with Nick and she's so gung-ho about solving this case with him to the extent that, you know, they're destroying all of Zootopia. And she just feels that these other guys, they already get this thought that they're good at their job, but I have to work twice as hard. We got to catch this case. We got to do this. Fair enough, I see. What about you, Micaiah?
Yeah, I agree. Agree with what he says. Won't tarry on long. I would say that with, you know what? No, I disagree.
You
with
sure?
what he
You don't
says.
want to speak
No.
on experience
Go
yourself?
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Myself, have I felt like I needed to prove other people wrong? In some ways, yes. I personally, even to the extent of, I've talked to you guys about this, I think, where sometimes I recognize how people that dress hip hop with our skin color get treated in certain communities. So even when it comes to going to places like maybe Midtown or whatever, I do try to avoid dressing in those sorts of ways, not necessarily to disprove a stereotype, but just because I don't want to deal with the headache of how sometimes people act.
Because without a doubt, you still carry the whole weight of being black on your shoulders. You represent all black people, no matter where we go. That's the sad thing about it.
And I feel bad for Judy because she's even solved. She solved this case about predators being turned into going savage. She proved that the previous mayor's prejudice about predators and then manipulating. She solved this massive case, but even then, she still feels like it's not good enough, and people are still going to see me as just a dumb bunny, as she said to Nick. So, yeah, we feel their pain. So, second question. Nick often points out that Judy is pushy about doing things her way. Why do some people feel the need that they need to control things in their relationships? In this case, I know that we can say that Judy's need is a side effect of the prejudice that she's going through. So I think I can give her a little bit of credence in this, but what about the fact that Nick goes through the exact same issues as Judy, but she's not recognizing that on her end?
Should I go there?
Go.
Should I go there, bro?
Go there.
Go,
Go there.
This is the same.
I heard the side.
This
Go
is
there.
the same dynamics between women and men in relationships.
Okay.
Friendships and stuff. Women want certain things done their way. Guys sometimes have to just say, you know what? For the betterment of good, we're just gonna follow your lead. Because they don't always want to listen to what you say, because it seems like, oh, you're towering over me. She's already little in stature, right? But she has to now overcompensate. And it happens all the time. I'm gonna stop there. I don't want to get too.
You don't want to mix all it? That's fine. What about you, man?
Am I bugging?
No.
You're right.
That's definitely one way to look at it.
He's like, you don't want MGTOW, I was gonna add, you don't want Andrew Tate it.
Messiah Tate.
And there's a perfect example of what you said that I saw in that film. When you see the logical and the emotional. They were in a tube with water that went on for so many miles. And she was so emotionally invested in trying to catch up with the snake that she forgot, like, you only have a limited, finite amount of breath you can hold. And he's like, we have to get off of this. You're not listening to me. We're gonna die.
I think that
was a pivotal moment in their relationship right there.
Talk about it.
Right off of that, what he said.
I'm gonna take a sharp perpendicular left turn, and I'm going to say what Judy is experiencing. I don't want to call it. Well, I'm not going to say the word because you two might give us a certain strike. Not like, but that means censor us. But what Judy is suffering from is what some people in our community do when they want to say, I'm not like them. Don't treat me like them. I'm better than them. They scapegoat their entire race so that they can show that they're not like everybody else. You got people like Judge Clarence Thomas like that. There's a lot of other political pundits that share our skin color like that. So they won't listen to the race when we're saying, hey, stop doing this. You're just making it worse. You're making it worse for yourself, and you're making it worse for us, everybody else. But all they hear is that I need to show everybody that I'm not like them. I'm just gonna say that it's a C and
Okay.
She's given examples of that. When she's doing it, she's not listening to Nick, who is basically anybody else in the community, or a situation sometimes within the Black community where we tell other people from other communities where, hey, you trying to impress everybody else is not going to make them accept you.
Right.
You're not listening to me, they're not gonna accept you. No matter what you do, only thing that you can do is just love yourself. But Judy can't listen to that because she's been brainwashed and oppressed by her upbringing.
Right.
You know, so that's just how I kind of took it in the movie.
I like your well take.
You know, your take too, it's like, I definitely felt that part when you wrote it out. I was like, yeah, I could see that part in a relationship, definitely. So next question. Does the movie show more of how we stereotype each other or how we cohabitate and accept each other's differences? Who wants to start? Do we stereotype each other more or do we actually work in cohesion, according to Zootopia 2?
I feel like, go ahead. Bro.
Yeah, I think Zootopia 2 illustrates the stereotypes. I think it's going along with the stereotypes because they just could not click and just get it right together for the majority of the movie, not until at least close to the very end where it took some grave things happening where they start to realize, we have to truly listen to each other authentically and be able to come to a common ground. So
ask that question one more time.
So does the movie show more of how we stereotype each other, IRL, or how we actually cohabitate and get along with each other IRL.
This shows a perfect blend of stereotyping that leads into,
Cohabitation?
yes, sir.
Interesting. Why do you think that?
Because they played a lot on each other's stereotypes, heavy, but you see that it worked in a lot of their favors. She would have the plan, like you said, with the tube. He would be like, oh, you didn't think this through. Let me use my brains to kick this out, knowing that we need to get here. Or when the house is breaking apart, the fox is using his wits to say, all right, made sure that she was good. You know what I mean? It played on both and showed that that's what makes who you are. And if you embrace some of the stereotypes that you do have, good stereotypes, you can utilize that to work together.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
When I had this question, because I was seeing how everybody's just like super stereotyping each other, especially in like the swamps and whatever, I was wondering.
Yeah, Bob.
Here, Bob.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was watching and I said, dang, they just really hammering home these stereotypes. But then I said, but we do this stuff all the time, every day in society. You can't escape it. But then watching Zootopia, which is supposed to be a play on the United States, as we said before, they do work together quite a lot. They have a lot of problems, but they do try to make it work.
So you see my point?
Like, I want to give them some credit. Like, okay, yes, we know Zootopia is about racism, prejudice, blah, 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 blah. We get it. But to the movie's credit, it does exemplify good parts where they do work together. Now they're at the point where they realize, okay, just because you're a predator doesn't mean that you're automatically gonna be a criminal. There's plenty of prey that are criminals. Even the fact that we talked about it in the last episode with Zootopia 1, who was actually the mafia boss, the little mouse. Not some.
He was the one pulling all the strings.
Exactly. What are you talking about? They talk about the snake being the bad guy, but at the end of the day, who was it? It was the lynx. The people that everybody thought were the good guys. Like, no, we're not that bad. But they scratched and tried to murder them.
But you know, it's funny. They played heavy on that snake stereotype because you know snakes are heavily demonized.
They are.
In the world.
And they played into it. They said, okay, we're going to use the snake as the bad guy, the snakes are the reptiles. But then come to find out, wasn't even like that. Moving on to the next question. So, Nick mentions that he goes to therapy for issues that Judy contributes to, but brushes to the side. Why don't people acknowledge serious emotional moments like that?
A lot of us are not ready to have those type of conversations.
Even if it includes their own trauma.
Exactly. 100%. That's it.
Fair enough.
I think it could also be maybe the unknown or the fear of opening up that wound again. I don't know if I truly fully agree with it, but there's a theory that's saying that if you go back and you access those same old traumas and stuff, is actually not, counterproductive at all whatsoever. Because your brain is literally a computer, and what you program in the subconscious, it keeps playing out in reality. So that was something I kind of saw on the side of those, but it could be an unknown fear of that. Not wanting to visit back to that place and opening that up and seeing what can it lead to.
That's a good point. I do think that sometimes when you bring up tough issues with people, it kind of unlocks something that they didn't know that they had in them, and they get defensive. In my case, I think that people don't acknowledge these serious issues when it occurs because they don't really know how to.
They don't have the tools, or they're not knowledgeable of or enlightened of the tools.
In Zootopia 2, for example, which is, as we know, an allegory for racism and whatnot, it's hard to have these real tough discussions about how these things not just affect me, but how you play a part in that. Once again, to go back to when Judy's not really listening to Nick, and he's saying like, listen, I go to therapy for things that you do. Not listening, whether it be for a racial reason or any otherwise, is still affecting him. So in his mind, as somebody that goes to therapy, her not listening to him about what he feels and who he is the same denial that everybody else is doing towards him, whether it be for racial or otherwise.
It's like another layer.
It's another brick. Another brick for him to carry. I think that it's tough for people to want to hear about the part that they play in your pain. Because at that point, as I've said before, nobody wants to think that they're the bad guy. Nobody wants to think that they're the villain in your story. Everybody want to be good. Glinda the good. Hey. So we got this next video. So we're going to play it real quick. Then we're going to talk about question number 6.
We have to go. Harris, we gotta
That's
go.
what the snake's trying to
The
prove.
ZPD is here. They aren't gonna just arrest us. The Lynxes want us dead.
We need to solve the case. Judy, we have to solve the case. Nick!
I don't care about the case. Judy, it's not worth dying for.
The world will never be a better place if no one is brave enough to do the right thing.
The world is what it is, Carrots, and sometimes being a hero, it just doesn't make a difference.
That's some heavy stuff.
This scene stood out very poignantly to me because the way that you can see it in the movie is just, good cop, cop trying to do good, but the world not trying to let her do good. But you can literally see this as people fighting for rights and equality and trying to stand up for justice. And then the other people, like with Nick saying, people don't care if you're trying to do good. No amount of good that you do is going to make a difference. They're still going to be the people that they are.
It reminds me of our early episode with the discussion between the Green Goblin and Spider-Man. Despite your efforts and what you've done, they want to see you fall. They want to see you die and crash and burn.
And Nick has a point. I understand where Judy's coming from, but Nick has a point too. So
he's trying to prevent her from being a martyr. That's why he said it's not worth dying.
But she sees him as a coward for giving up on people that need his help, that suffer just like him.
But at the same time, that's the dilemma. She's not listening. She's passively listening. She's not listening to where he's genuinely coming from. Just because he says that doesn't necessarily mean he's a coward. He has some wisdom on the topic at hand.
To that point, Judy believes we need heroes to make changes. Nick believes sometimes a hero's effort doesn't make a difference. Who do you believe is more right in this situation? Who do you believe is more right? I'm throwing an anecdote on you guys now.
Damn,
That's a rough one.
That's a rough one because both of them is right to
Really
me.
good point.
Gun to your head, you got to choose.
Gun to my head, then I choose what the fox say.
You think Nick is more right? Mm-hmm. You think Nick is more right about the fact that a hero's effort doesn't make a difference sometimes?
Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't, bro. Take it back to Superman and all these other things there, no matter how much times they say, what happens?
Still got all this evil. You still got people not caring and people want to persecute Superman and everything else.
How evil he is, how much, oh, you didn't save this one when you could have saved this one. Can he be in two places at once? Like, no matter what you do, sometimes it's never enough. And as a hero, sometimes you have to pick your battles. I see what Fox is in this particular scene, the house is about to tear apart. She wants to keep on pushing. And he's just like, hold up. Let's evaluate everything. Is this worth dying for? When you die, a martyr is only remembered only a little bit, unless you did some really, really big things. And this, you be remembered by the snakes, but nobody else is going to remember the bunny. Let's be real. Go ahead, bro.
I'll say, just to keep it entertaining and stuff, I'm going to go with Judy.
Wrong,
And
nigga.
the reason why I'll go with Judy is because it also, there's a few things I can tie into is that I think we like to think of it as I'm doing this for this cause, and we think of it as grandeur. But like what he said, for these snakes, this was their world. This meant something to them. So to do something that can change the tides in their favor and give them justice, that's completely all right and fine with her that she's willing to die. Just for example, in the recent Superman movie, right? The only person I felt like he truly impacted was that taxi driver. And that taxi driver put his life on the line.
He did.
He was able to, even if it was one person, it was a ripple effect. Even though it may not have the magnitude, if you were able to impact the change on someone for the better for one person, that's all that matters. So I can see it in that grand scheme of a thing. If you're willing to die for it, you die for it.
You guys,
and she's willing to die for it.
Nick
And
doesn't want.
she's firm to her convictions. I'm sorry, that's it.
Nick doesn't want her to die for it because she's the only person that believes in Nick and his only friend. So it's one of those things where you
He's
can,
selfish now, kid.
but it's like you can see it and like take it back into civil rights. I know we got more questions, but let's sit on this one for a bit. Take it back to civil rights where you have people that are fighting for equality and justice and they're willing to sacrifice and die for it, but then you have their family members and the people that care about them and don't want to see these things happen to them. The same way how you feel about you wouldn't want your son to join the military because you care about them more than you care about the world. So that's why when I saw them say this, I said that's a way bigger discussion than what the movie is even spending time on.
That's true.
No, it's fine. We can take it.
Nah, I was gonna say for my reasoning, it's not
no,
that
that's
I
fine.
don't want them to care about that. They shouldn't care about the world.
No.
What I'm saying is, fight for a country that doesn't really care about you that much, because at any minute they will throw you under the bus for the color of your skin. That's deeper. That's
But then what
I'm
you're saying,
more
but then you sound like Nick, because he's like, but at the end of the day, the powers that be in this society, they don't care about the snakes and they will treat you just like them. So I understand exactly.
Yeah.
He's not, that's why I get why you feel closer to what he's saying, because he's not wrong with what he's saying.
And I can also, in addition, I can see why she's so gung-ho about this, because in her mind, she's probably thinking, well, if they can do this to the reptiles, who's to say we're not next?
right.
And it
Who's to
doesn't
say, and it's not gonna stop there. As you can obviously see with the Lynx plan to continue to expand on acquiring more territory
Right.
and gentrifying.
it's a very big dilemma. It's not easy. I don't think you're wrong with whoever you agree with on this.
That is true.
Yeah.
But I think
I don't think there's a right or wrong.
it's not a right or wrong. For me, I'm just saying a tiebreaker in the sense that I would have to go with Judy because one, I've been brainwashed by superheroes, whether it be Dragon Ball, Superpowers, Justice League, or whatever, video games. But two, just because as cynical as I am about the world, and I even talk about it in my sessions, I do believe that, but nothing will change if you don't do something about it. Nothing in the world changes unless you do something. You can't rely on other people. They're not reliable. The only good in this world that you can guarantee is the good that you do.
Produce.
And that's what Judy recognizes. Unfortunately, the house is falling apart. So it's like, come on, like, what are we doing here? Like, yo, you want to die with the house too? Come on, what are we doing here?
Let's have this discussion outside.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, Judy, I get it, but you know, the house falling apart. Like, come on. Yeah. All right, great discussion, guys. I like that one.
Yes,
Next
really
one.
good.
Nick and Judy open up to each other about their true feelings and fears at the climax. What are some benefits when you open up like this to your partner? When you open up about the vulnerabilities, about the judgments of the world, how you feel. Oh, go right ahead.
No, keep going.
When you talk about how you feel so insecure that you need to make these changes, and then if you don't feel valuable. Your commitment to help other people, you feel that you need to help them because if you don't, they have nobody else. When you open up to your partner about these, like, what are some benefits?
I think. Go ahead, bro. No.
Go.
Go ahead.
It's fine.
All right. I think once you reach that level of transparency where both of you are able
Good
to
word.
talk and really express, that's when the relationship between the bond gets closer. And then you can rely even more on your partnership because you have now a deeper meaning, like understanding of each other. You see the vulnerability of why Judy acts the way she acts and why Nick acts the way. So when now you see where they're coming from, you can put yourself in their shoes. And that's what makes a relationship grow even better when y'all are ready to have that serious convo. But a lot of people aren't.
Which is basically what the movie is trying to do in the very beginning. Judy doesn't believe that they need to go to therapy or partner therapy or partner counseling. But Nick is saying, no, I think we should. We should definitely talk about these things. And come to find out, they really do need it. They need to be able to open up to each other and be more vulnerable.
Because it's two different worlds. That's the thing. And that's the same thing with relationships with us. Like friendships between bros, two different worlds. Relationship between you and your girl or you and your other significant partner, it's two different worlds that you're trying to blend into one.
Your other significant partner, DeJounte, he trying to snitch on you?
Not you, I'm just saying.
Yo, he trying to snitch on you.
No, for those who have other partners, meaning, other
Okay.
same sex, those type of things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're all inclusive. We're all
Yeah,
inclusive.
yeah.
Dang right we are. Pink dollars, baby.
The pink dollars, baby.
Pink dollars.
But nah, I'm not gonna probably reiterate more than what he said because he's pretty much said it all. But yeah, if you don't have that level of transparency where you could be authentic with one another, you're never gonna be able to know what the other person is thinking or what their motive is and stuff like that. So when you do that, it adds another layer. It adds another layer of intimacy and closeness for the relationship. No homo.
We're inclusive. No homo. Look at you.
For the
Culture.
I get it's culture. He's from New York. We're from New York.
From New
You
York.
know, brethren could be intimate too and be like, yo, like this is where I come from and I'm X, Y, and Z, and then you're able to fill in the blanks a little bit more better than just guessing and saying that it could be this or it could be that. Now you have better understanding. And that's the whole purpose and point. You want to see where this person's come from with their perspective. Each person has their own ecosystem running within themselves, you know?
And this goes back to when Nick says, when they're on the mountain, you know, I go to therapy and about you and stuff. You need to be able to open up and open your ears too. It only makes your relationship better. It only makes them better partners. And funny thing about it, I don't know if this is glossed over, but you know this movie only takes place a week after the first? This is their first case after the first movie. This only 1 week has passed.
Yeah.
Wow.
1 week. They still barely know each other. I'm like, dang, Nick, you go to therapy that quick? And you started talking about it. Dang, how many sessions you got in a week? Speaking of funny questions, now that we about to wrap up, we're gonna ask some of the
Ask an outrageous question.
the
right
ones
now.
I really don't want to talk about, but let's go. Do you think Nick and Judy are more than friends?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You guys are.
Hell yeah.
I think they're definitely playing at something there. They be a little too close sometimes, man. I be like, I know there's personal space, and then they in personal space a lot, head to head, close together, and googly eyes, bunny eyes, looking at fox eyes.
They could be friends for now, but we know what's happening.
yeah,
It just-
there's gonna be a fox bunny.
I don't know. I feel a little bit weird by watching the movie because I'm an adult. Listen, I know come on, let's be real. You know the animators are trying to like play around with it, but they
course.
can't. I don't know.
It's because the reason why they do that, it's smart. You're opening up to a broader market. For example, look at The Incredibles. The Incredibles is a child's movie and an adult's movie at the same time. And
This is
they know
incredible.
they know the fine line. Oh, Mr. Incredible and the children. Oh, y'all got busy.
It's
You
something.
know? So it opens up a bigger market. You know, you can speak to all different levels and ages, and that brings in more revenue.
So then, DeJounte, are you telling me that,
Yeah.
like you said earlier, you're going to be looking at that Nick and Bunny AI pairing
Hey,
on,
yo.
on TikTok?
I might
you going to be looking it up?
I might
Might
just.
I ain't trying to kink shame you, but
I just finished The Simpsons yesterday.
you enjoy that. You enjoy that. You enjoy that.
Are you about to
Excellent.
close?
I got one more question.
Yeah.
What you
Keep dropping.
it's on your
No,
phone.
go ahead. I wanted the
dropping
question. Yeah.
Last question is, on some realness, how many Disney villains actually die by falling off a cliff? Like mad Disney.
Well, he didn't die by falling off a cliff, though.
Yeah, but like they do the whole Disney thing because he fell off the cliff. Jafar didn't fall off a cliff. Who was it? No, Hercules didn't fall off a cliff. But a lot of these people, Scar fell off a
Scar
cliff.
fell off the cliff.
Who else was there? I'm going through like
But
all the.
Mustafa fell off a cliff, too.
Mufasa fell off a cliff too.
Yeah.
No, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Whatever the priest guy, he fell off the tower.
Something with cliffs. I don't know.
They can't just like murk somebody and be done with it. Why they can't do that? We got all these sexual innuendos, but we can't just murk somebody in a Disney movie.
Well, they were close to doing it when he had the dagger thing. I was like, that was a little violent. He's like, I was like, oh, he juking people up with
Yeah,
that,
like stabbing
with that
them with-
snake venom.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, we ain't gonna stab you, but you know, I'll poison you to death. What? Oh yeah, let me just throw the snake out in the cold, let it freeze to death. I said, it's a little gruesome.
It is pretty gruesome. It was pretty violent.
But seriously, I'm just like, yo, Disney, get your act together. Come on, I want to see some real deaths. You know?
What? Okay.
No, that's it.
Quick question. What was Judy's last name?
Hopps.
Hop off these dick.
Just said these nuts included for $3.99.
Close out, bro.
My name is Wise God. This is Micaiah. This is DeJounte. Hop off nuts. Zootopia 2, movie IRL. Peep the Swan.
Check it out.
Subscribe.
Yes, please check it out.
Till next time.